Hi again, everyone. Like many of you, I have been watching GenAI peer students writing almost overnight. And I kept wondering, what do we actually do with that in EAP, which is my area, beyond warnings and policy slides? So today I would like to share one of the findings from my study that really stood out. When students evaluate AI together, that's where critical digital literacy actually begins, in the talk. That was one of my core findings. So let me quickly show you what the study involved and why I'm focusing on the group discussions. So a quick background. I explored a question that I think many of us are working through. If we bring GenAI into EAP writing, can it help strengthen students' critical digital literacy? So my study was a qualitative case study with a few groups of undergraduates on an in-sessional EAP course. And I observed them in class when they were discussing, audio recorded the discussions, and had some follow-up interviews as well. But today I'm zooming in on the focus groups because that's where AI evaluation became something social, not individual. Excuse me. And for us EAP teachers, that social part is what I think really matters. So why this matters? GenAI is in students' writing workflows. I'm sure you agree. So in EAP, the question isn't, should they use it? They already do. The actual question is, what kind of writing practices do we want to build around it? A lot of responses I've seen fall into two camps. Here are the rules, be careful. Here's how to prompt. They're useful, but I think they somehow incomplete. So my argument today is make AI evaluation social, because I believe students should be able to evaluate AI before they start writing, during the writing process, and even after. In my focus groups, I didn't just hear mixed opinions. I watched students build judgment together. So to me, that's critical digital literacy happening in real time. Which connects to a bigger point about writing. It doesn't need to be a lonely activity. Many colleagues tell me they are unsure how to respond to AI disruption without undermining learning. What helped me frame it was remembering that writing isn't just technical, it's human. Wilson reminds us of the emotional and relational parts of academic work. Students need space to express uncertainty. And MacArthur pushes us to shift from seeing the student in isolation to student as a member of society. So I came to see that supporting AI era writing means supporting dialogue, shared thinking, shared checking, shared criteria. So here's what I actually did to make that talk visible in class. Here is the task in brief. Students drafted a short essay at home. So they started doing the task at home using any GenAI tool of their choice. They brought the draft to class, finished it using recommended sources given by me. And then the key bit, they discussed and evaluated the writing in small groups. What they did, they compared what AI produced, what they kept, what they changed, what they rejected, and why. Their comments were grounded in course expectations, not in general opinions about AI. And that's where critical digital literacy showed up. in the joint evaluations, not in the tool use alone. And the structure of the task is important. The task itself is now part of the EAP material, so I won't go through every question it includes. In fact, there's no questions here on the slide. It's just a very brief summary how the task looks like, because it's much more structured. But the core of it was write with AI, then evaluate the AI and your decisions together in class. Students explored the writing through 6 lenses: task response, criticality, sources, structure, language, and overall usefulness of AI. The key insight is this: the talk externalized things we usually can't see: judgment, checking, doubt, credibility. With that in mind, let me share the 2 headline findings. So the first finding, helpful but limited. That's the finding. Across all 4 groups, I observed the pattern was the same. GenAI was helpful but limited. Helpful for getting started, shaping structure, summarising, polishing language, as you can see in students' comments. As one student said, AI helped me structure the introduction and conclusion. But this was always followed by but. The buts were consistent. Outputs were generic, sometimes of genre, and citations were rarely trusted. So the baseline wasn't naive trust, it was conditional use. Useful, but I'm not delegating credibility. And the important part, students said this to each other. That's critical digital literacy, shared, explicit criteria for trust. And that shared caution actually developed into shared practices. This was the most interesting finding, the second one. Students didn't just say, be careful. The group discussions turned caution into repeatable routines. The first one, constrain inputs. Use your own notes so AI doesn't invent the argument. The second, separate style edits from claim checks. Grammar, fine. Claims or citations, check yourself. And the third one, treat AI text as provisional. Nothing was done until it was checked against real sources. That was critical digital literacy in action, in my opinion. Students building shared language, shared norms, and shared strategies. So what does suggest for our EAP practice? For me, the takeaway is simple. Make AI evaluation social, structured, and normal. If we want students to use AI critically and ethically, we need tasks where they compare outputs, name the norms, challenge the problems, and practice judgment together. Not just use AI responsibly, but create a talk that makes responsible use possible. That's how we support writing without sliding into fear or hype. So this is the key takeaway for me. I'll be happy to answer any questions if we have time.